Hi, ever wonder what it's like to work another profession or live in the underworld? Listen to unsuspecting riders give a 10 to 15 minute personal masterclass as I spontaneously interview them as they enter my taxi. I'm your host, Simon Rushton, and this is Taxi Chronicles. Morning. Yes, I'm back with another episode, another rider. Today, I just want to tell this story. It's a bit of a long story, but it's amusing. There's a moral to the story. I was in Stamford Hill area. I don't know if you know that. It's like North East London or North London, however you want to talk, see it. I'm from South London, so excuse me if my geography is not the best. But anyway, a ride came along, so I pulled up, as you do, and there was this Hasidic guy, one of the Jewish guys with the all black and white kind of suit and the pigtails and a hat. Well, no, he didn't have a hat on, to tell a lie. But so I thought it was strange because I've never had one of those as a fare before. I've had a Hasidic lady, but she told me as soon as she got in, we don't ever catch your rides. I'm only doing this because it's paid by a charity. And I said, listen, it doesn't bother me either way, love. As long as someone's paying, I don't really care. But anyway, it turns out the guy's not getting in. It's another guy. So he kind of hugs. I think he kissed the guy on both cheeks. But this guy, he wasn't Hasidic. He was actually from Yugoslavia. He was a big guy. Now, if you've seen that movie Snatch, and you remember there's a guy called Boris or something like that, Boris or something, who is a Russian guy who would never die. No matter how many people tried to kill him, he just wouldn't die. Yeah. This guy had long hair to his shoulders, and it was like just hanging all around, and it was cut short at the front. It's like he'd come through a time warp. Cut short at the front so it doesn't overhang his eyes. And he is quite balding in the middle, bald patch. But he was a big guy. He was wearing a high-vis suit. So for those who are in the railway business, it's the trousers, the winter warm trousers with a waistcoat, high-vis waistcoat. And his hands were really large. His fingers were about like nearly twice as thick as my fingers. And when he got in the car, he was like, he wanted to eat some crisps. And I said, no eating in here. So he started to complain. So he said, well, I drink, okay? I had a think. I'm going to try and do some accents. I'm not the best at doing accents, but I'm going to try. So I said, yeah, all right, have your drink then. I think he had a Red Bull or something. So we're sitting there and I'm starting to drive. And then as I'm driving, I'm thinking, do I start a conversation with this guy, etc., etc.? Then the guy just starts to talk and he's saying how his boss, the Hasidic guy, is a good boss. He's a good Jew. I said, what do you mean? He said, oh, he pays on time and he pays me well. He said, not like these other Jews. I've worked for them. They don't want to pay afterwards. It cause heaven and earth. I said, okay, well, I can say that about many different cultures, but such is life from my experience in the building game. So anyway, then he goes on and he says how the boss is a multimillionaire and he's got an English neighbour, and the boss had employed a Polish gang to do a basement extension. So I don't know if you know about this. Basement extensions were a thing. In 2015, there's a BBC documentary about it where the rich are extending their basements all the way down, like deep down, 3 stories down, 4-meter high rooms, that kind of, they got swimming pools and all this kind of thing. So the boss wanted to do that, basically, and it's gone wrong. The Polish guy, the Yugoslavian guy says, it's like bucket, there's water everywhere, bucket. I said, okay. On top of that, there was an extension done higher up at the rear, and that was leaking as well. So the boss got rid of the Polish crew and brought in his good working, as he said. My people come. Yeah. I said, all right, mate, okay. So then he showed me a picture. He said, look, I show you a picture. So I said, what's that? He said, that's neighbour, Englishman. He's jealous. I said, what's he doing? He's knocking down the extension. I said, what? Yeah, he said, what? I said, what do you mean? He said, he's knocking down the extension because he says the extension is gone on his perimeter of his land. So he said he took a photo, then he's filming, and the man didn't care, he just carried on. You look at the video, he's just carrying on with the jackhammer, knocking down the neighbour's extension. So he's called the boss. The boss has come. What are you doing? What are you doing? Sorry, I can't do a Jewish accent. I don't even know what his accent would have been like anyway. But anyway, the Yugoslavian guy goes, he said, so they call the police. The police come, and it turns out they look at the deed and the perimeter boundaries and know the English guy's wrong. What the Yugoslavian guy's saying, he is just jealous. So he's jealous, so he just took upon himself to knock down the man's building thinking he can bully people. So obviously the police say, listen, you can take him to court. The multi-millionaire boss, he goes, I haven't got time for that. Just tell him to stay on his side of his perimeter and we're staying our side. Anyway, half an hour goes by and the police have gone. Next thing you know, this big Irish guy turns up, tattoos, balding, everything, and walks into their part of their perimeter and starts threatening the Yugoslavian guy. So the Yugoslavian guy had a rubber mallet in his hand, and he just got the mallet, and smacked the Irish guy in the chest. The Irish guy goes down like a ton of bricks and stops breathing. So the funny thing was, because when this guy's telling this story, he goes, so I hit him warm, and yes, he stopped breathing. I think, oh no, not another one died. I said, another one? I'm thinking he's in the back of this taxi. So anyway, the police come, the ambulance come, So the ambulance are trying to get this man to breathe again. They must have come really quickly. So, and I think if you don't breathe for 3 minutes, you get brain dead or something. But anyway, and the policewoman, he said there's a short, big titty policewoman, and she's telling him, he's saying, she say, I ain't no British, I British. She say, I no British, I British. I just, English not my first language. I try, but you know, I British. I've been here 19 years since Yugoslavia war. I fight in war. Yeah. So anyway, so I was thinking, how did they get into that of whether the man's British or not? That's irrelevant. Later on, I realised that what the policewoman's trying to say is that you shouldn't be in this country anyway, so you're hurting British citizens, etc., 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 because he hasn't got ID or whatever. I don't know. He said his passport is at home, all the rest of it. You know, we don't walk with our passports here. So I don't know what's going on with that. So then she's saying, you hit him with the mallet, so you're going to get arrested. So he said, no, he come to me to fight me, so I defend myself. She said, why don't you just punch him with your fist? To me, it's like, really? Whether you hit him with a mallet or hit him with a fist, the other day, you're going to hit him with something, because he's coming to you, which is rightfully so. Now, as this going on, another copper turns up, a Scottish copper, and he sees the Irish guy on the floor, and he goes, so someone's finally put you on your back now. So it turns out the Irish guy is known for being a bully, going around causing trouble, trying to intimidate people. And obviously with the Yugoslavian guy, he don't play that, as Americans say. So anyway, then it turned out there's a Jamaican guy in the basement who was putting in the CCTV. So this must have all been caught on CCTV. So it just so happened it covered the Yugoslavian guy. So now, when they saw the video footage, the policeman was quiet, but the Scottish policeman says to the man, listen, you can press charges, but you haven't got a leg to stand on based on the video. So think about it. And with your history also of, crime and problems, So think about it. Just take this as a lesson learned, and wind your neck in. So the Irish guy goes like, "I'll just take me to hospital," kind of thing, and dismiss it. So later on now, the Yugoslavian guys turned around to the English neighbour. Yeah, he's kind of watching from a distance and said, "Listen, next time you send people for me, send 10 people. And when I done with them, I bury you alongside them." He said, "I fought in the Yugoslavian war. I see women and children die. You think you can send one man for me?" If you was in the car, which I had this on video, if you can see the way the man's talking, if you consider this, the man, remember he's like that Boris from Snatch. Anyway, so the Englishman's response was, "Do you want a cup of tea?" So the Yugoslavian man goes, "Yes, I want 2 sugars." So I said to him, "Why'd you take tea for the man? He's going to spit on it or do something." He goes, "I don't drink it. I throw it in the bush. I just let him know he's my bitch now." He said, "The next day I said I want 2 teas, 1 tea and 2.5 sugar. But and he said, "Yeah, but I thought you wanted 2. He said, "No, 2.5, and bring it now." He said, so every day he's telling this guy to get him tea. So the moral of that story is, be careful who you're playing with if you're going to start causing trouble, because not everybody plays by the same rules that you play with. I hope you like that story. I found it really interesting. I've told a couple of people in a taxi that story. Most people like it. I know some women weren't really into it for whatever reason. But funnily enough, some people thought that was too much, hitting somebody with a rubber mallet. But, if you're put in a danger position, you're going to use what's beside you, with a chair, table, whatever. But it's one of those things. But anyway, feel free to leave a comment, and I hope you like this episode. We hope you liked that interview. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to get the latest daily episode. Ever considered investing in the continent with the fastest growing economy and population on Earth? The same continent that holds 30% of the world's known natural resources? Then listen to our sister podcast, Africa Investor Stories, where you will hear real investors with real stories from around the world share their experience of investing in Africa. We post Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m.